Highway 96 East in Las Casas.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and Big G TV.
And welcome back to the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, and we have Siegel defensive coordinator Eric Smith with us this morning. I'm John Dinkins back with you, and a tough game last night. You were expecting a tough game, I think.
Yes, sir.
And I think a lot of people were going, I think they were expecting maybe worse, and you guys kind of stood the tide a little bit. Couldn't get anything going offensively, but the defense held up pretty well.
Oakland's a big week for us every year, and it's definitely one that we circle on the calendar, look forward to, and, as a coach, these are the kind of teams that you come to Murfreesboro, want to play, want to have a chance to win. My parents live out west Tennessee, and every year they come to the Oakland game. I want them here, and, we come into the game Friday, felt like we have a really good chance, really good shot, and, we had a couple chances, and like any ball game, got to eliminate the big plays, got to eliminate turnovers, got to eliminate, the free plays that you give other teams and give yourself a chance at the end. At times, I thought we did a really good job of that. Other times, give up a long play on a screen in the first series. A couple of plays like that, give up another screen later in the game. So, we just got to eliminate those kind of things. And, Oakland's a great challenge for us. And a lot of our kids came off, and they were frustrated and angry. And a lot of them, as they're coming off, so, well, you want to try and play them again? Let's get to if we can get to the playoffs, make a little run right here and get another shot. And every one of them kind of like, hey, let's go play them again. We feel like we can eliminate some things. So, yeah, I mean, Oakland's always a tough challenge, and it's an exciting game to be a part of, and an exciting game to give yourself a shot if we can get there. And but our kids expect to go in those games, compete to win, and it's an exciting group of kids that kind of had that mindset.
Yeah, and they did compete. With Oakland, when you're playing Oakland, those top defenses too. You can't have turnovers. You can't have, and not even necessarily turnover, but you need to execute well. I mean, you can't have a busted play and that kind of thing. And you take those away, you're in the game. 2-0 coming into that game in the district, and you're the defensive coordinator. I know that you've been proud of them because I think you won 13-10 and. Another game, 14-13 or something close. So those close games matter, and that teaches them a lot too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, definitely builds faith in each other. And in a couple of those games, like Cookville, for instance, we go into Cookville and have a really good game defensively. Get a lot of stops. It's a tight game. It's I think 15-8 game toward the end, and we feel really good about where we're at. And give up a score at the end, get 15-15. And offense responds, marches right down the field, and in 2-minute drill, scores, puts us ahead. We win that game. Same way with Stewart's Creek. Feel like we did a lot of really good stuff defensively. Feel like we kept ourselves in the game. And then when it came down to the end and we had to have a play, offense drives it right down the field. We get a catch a punt around the 50-yard line. Get a stop, catch a punt around the 50, which catching the punt was a big deal. Saved us an extra need of first down, but drive it right down the field. Kick a game-winning field goal to win. So, offensively, even last night, I thought we did a really good job of staying on the field. It's hard to get points, but, we got first downs. We grounded out some first downs. Got a penalty on roughing a punter, which gave us, a little more downs and just kind of looking for that opportunistic play to get us over the top and go get some points. But, those guys up front on both sides of the football, I feel like we're really coming into our own in a lot of ways. I thought that even last night, and I don't know what the stats are for our running game and whatnot, but I feel like those guys are really challenging other teams, even team like Oakland, getting yards, getting first downs, keeping us down the field, and give us a chance.
Well, I had Albee had 22 carries for 73 yards, and getting 73 yards against Oakland.
Those are tough yards.
Yeah, those are tough yards. They are. But defensively, Demario Heron had 8 tackles, including one for a loss. That's got to be pleasing too. They didn't quit.
Absolutely. And Demario, you talk about Demario, he's a great kid, great guy to be around. Great, he works full time as a barber over on Memorial.
Really?
At the Star Barbershop over on Memorial. Plays hard for us. Had a knee injury last year. Has really worked hard to put himself back in position and become a good player. And and he's had to work hard. That's a tough injury to come back from. And like you said, like he battled last night, 8 tackles, 1 for a loss. Had a chance for some others, and like really strong kid, block destruction kid, selfless kid, like just a fun kid to coach.
Let me ask you a little bit. We're talking to Eric Smith, the defensive coordinator for the Siegel Stars. And I've asked Coach Renshaw this, and I think he's a little shy. So, but you can tell us a little bit more. Those kids have bought in with him and your coaching staff in a way that is really beautiful to see. I mean, they believe in everything that you guys do. I know he does a lot of walking the halls, and you guys, go to events and that kind of thing. Isn't that the key? I mean, isn't that a big key to y'all starting to get more success each and every year?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The teachers talk a lot about Adam in that way as well, about how much they like seeing him in the hallways and seeing not just football kids, but other kids and being a presence. And I think our coaching staff as a whole really takes that personal, that we want to be, coaches in the school, teachers in the school, and members of the community in the school. But the kids, the proof's in the pudding. You get in there and, you start. Our first year coming in here, we came in the same year, and it was a very small team coming back, like somewhere around 30 people, 30 total kids coming back from the year before. And Coach Warren does a great job with our freshman team, getting numbers up and getting guys in the field and giving them roles. And we've had between 40 and 60 freshmen every year come through, which those guys go into the varsity program, and we're having 80 to 90 kids at the beginning of every year in the varsity program. And the proof's in the pudding. I mean, you care about them, you push them, you work them hard, you challenge them, you recognize accomplishments. I mean, everybody enjoys that. But they really do. You tell these kids to do things, and you coach them on it, and you can see it improving in them, which is exciting.
It's an amazing thing to watch. And I know when he took over the program, it had some heartache and some other things. And you've got a good AD, good support with Coach White. That's important too. I mean, to have that backing by them, and would do anything you need to do. Got a turf field, some of those things. That's not easy, getting all those things together.
It's a great community.
Yeah,
great community from top down, from community members that in, like Charlie Davison. The administrators. Mr. Creasy and Coach White. They're never more than a phone call away, and on the sidelines, they're just a couple yards away. But we really do. We have a lot of people in that Siegel community that care about our football program. They care about the school as a whole, and it's exciting when you look out there and the basketball coaches are there and the baseball coaches are there, and they're upstairs in the box commentating the games, and you go down and the other sport coaches are asking about the games on Monday, and it's a really cool community.
Coach Wine has been through the wars as well, and success at Riverdale, success at Siegel. I'm sure that's a big benefit to have, because he knows the game and he knows what may be going through everybody, or through a hard time or the good times.
Right.
I think he understands all that.
Absolutely. He's somebody that is good to have in the building to lean on. And you're frustrated things. We can always go talk to Coach Wyatt. His door's always open, and like you said, he's been through it.
He's an old coach,
and absolutely.
Notice the emphasis on old, but go ahead.
And he knows people around. It's a blessing. We've had Rick Collins came coach with us for a year.
Yes,
he was another guy that kind of been around the county a bit, has some success. Rick Mallory has come in. He's the same thing. He coming from MTSU, coach our special teams, doing a great job with that. And you got to think those connections with Coach Wine, Mr. Creasy, and some of our other staff have a lot to do with those people wanting to add in to the program.
Well, we look ahead, and we've got you taking on Siegel next week. Rockville next week. They suffered a tough loss last night. However, they're scary. I mean, they've got some talent on that team. Tell us a little bit about what you know about them.
Well, I think that in a lot of ways they're really similar to us. They're going to run the football. They're going to ground out the tough yards. They can get first downs. They're going to be opportunistic. They got guys on the edge that can hurt you. They got a couple of good receivers that can beat you over the top. Defensively, I mean, they're tough defensively. They're aggressive defensively. They run a really complicated scheme that's kind of hard to get past. We have history. A lot of their coaches, a lot of Siegel coaches. They're at Rockville now, and Coach Counts, we've known him for a long time, from West Tennessee to Paris to Dyersburg, and those really good guys, really good coaches, and it's an exciting game to be a part of. Like almost everyone in this county, they're fun games.
Well, they're never any easy ones either, really. I mean, you might get an easy one just by turnovers or something, but they're all tough, aren't they? I mean, each and every week.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot with our kids, that nothing's free, and you got to earn it all. You got to earn every blade of grass, every punt, every turnover. There's nothing you've done that's going to give you something this week.
It really makes it hard, too, because if you have a big win, you can't go on that one for very long. I guess, what do y'all start on Monday or Sunday?
Yeah.
Saying, got to look ahead, got to keep going.
Yeah, let's turn the page on this one, go on to the next one. And like you said, it gets you nothing. You have a big win, it gets you nothing. But at the same time, we didn't perform like we wanted to last Friday, and that doesn't cost us anything this Friday. We got to turn the page and move ahead, and this is a massive game for us. Our kids know the kids from Rockville, and like I said, there's a lot of coaching history between the two, and so we're really excited about the challenge this week.
I made a comment at the game last night that we were at. We were at Rockville. We were at Smyrna with the Rockville game, and I said, Siegel reminds me of kind of the lunch pail, kind of construction worker, goes to work every day, works hard, and reaps the benefits of hard work. Is that a fair assessment of your guys? Because you've got some talent, but I didn't mean it like you didn't have any talent, but it's just the way you go about things, and we're trying to keep away from turnovers and doing the fundamentals right and all that kind of thing.
I hope so. I mean, I really hope that's what we look like, and I hope that's the impression we give people. And we try to be really intentional about the way we practice, the way we address things. And, one of our biggest slogans, especially defensively, is, guys, you can control what you can control. Let's control that. You can control how you line up. You can control your leverage. You can control your eyes. You can control your read steps. You can't control the way the game ends up. You could go out and shut teams out and lose by 2-0 to a safety, or you could put 50 points on the board and lose 50-52. But you can control what you can control, and we work really hard on talking to our guys about just control those things. Concentrate on those things, concentrate on your alignments, your keys, your reads, how you run these drills, and hopefully that does turn into that. Just a very workman mentality and a selfless mentality.
Well, whatever you're doing well. I mean, it's been very successful, and good luck against Rockville. Like you said, that is a huge game for both of y'all.
Absolutely.
Both teams. All right, Eric, appreciate it. That's Eric Smith, the defensive coordinator here at Siegel, and we appreciate him substituting for Coach Renshaw today. He's a tough act to follow, but you did great. This portion of the show is brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric, serving our community by providing affordable, reliable, and safe electricity. Online at MTE.com. Up next on the Prentice Awesome Heating and Air Coach's Corner, it's Eagleville coach Floyd Walker as we continue.